Namaste. Welcome to the lecture series on the subject Applied Thermodynamics, Module 2, Gas Power Cycles, lecture number 9. Myself, Dr. M. Satish Kumar, Associate Professor of Mechanical Engineering, Canara Engineering College, Bantwal. In fact, I told you earlier that the lecture number 8 is the last lecture under Module 2, Gas Power Cycles. But later, I thought I can add few more numericals. I can solve few more numericals. So I thought of adding one more video in the form of lecture number 9. So I'll solve two more problems which are of a bit of different kind in this video. Now let us understand and analyze this problem. In a reheat gas turbine cycle comprising one compressor and two turbines. You see, this is one interesting problem because there is only one compressor. The compression takes place in one stage, whereas expansion of combustion products takes place in two stages. Air is compressed from 1 bar 27 degrees Celsius to 6 bar. So 1 bar and 27 degrees Celsius are the pressure and temperature of the to the inlet of the compressor. So exit of the compressor, the pressure is 6 bar. The highest temperature in the cycle is 900 degree Celsius. So the maximum temperature. The expansion in the first stage turbine is such that the work from it just equals the work required by the compressor. So now you know that there are two stages of turbine. So turbine expansion. So two work outputs will get, stage 1 and stage 2. So it says that the expansion in the first stage turbine is such that the work output from that is equal to the work required by the compressor. So WT1 is equal to WC. Air is reheated between two stages of expansion to 850 degrees Celsius. So generally, whenever there is two stage turbine, so there will be reheating. So in this case, the reheating is done to 850 degrees Celsius. So initially it is maximum temperature is 900, but reheating is 850. That means it is not perfect reheating. So assume that isentropic efficiencies of the compressor, the first stage, the second stage turbine are 85% each, and that the working fluid is air. So calculate the cycle efficiency. Okay, let us solve this problem. So P1 is 1 bar, T1 is 300, P2 is 6 bar. Now you have to note T3. Actually, you have to draw the TS diagram, so that I will show you in the next slide, but I have noted the data here. And WT1 is equal to WC, T5 is 1123, eta C is equal to 0.85, eta T1, eta T2 is also 0.85. So this is the TS diagram. You can see one is the inlet to the compressor, 2S is at the end of the ideal process. If it would have been ideal compression, then it would have been 1 to 2S. 1 to 2 is the actual compression, 2 to 3 is the heat addition process. It is written as QH here, Q in. Then 3 to 4S is isentropic expansion in the first stage, but actual expansion is 3 to 4. 4 to 5 is the reheat. So this temperature is 900, whereas this temperature is 850. All of you have to make a note of this clearly. 5 to 6S is the second stage expansion, which is isentropic or ideal, and 5 to 6 is the actual expansion in the second stage. Now the first part, it is simple as usual. So you have to find out all the temperatures. So 1 is given, 2S you have to find out, then use the compressor efficiency to find out 2. Then since work of compression is equal to work of first stage expansion is given, using that you can find out to T4 because T3 is known, right? So then you have to find out T4, then T5 is given, you have to find out T6 and T6 yes also. Okay, now let us begin. So process 1 to 2S is isentropic. So T2S by T1 is equal to P2 by P1 to the power gamma minus 1 by gamma. So after substitution and simplification, you will get T2S as 500.5 Kelvin. Now use the compressor efficiency formula as usual and substitute. So only unknown is T2, the actual temperature at the exit of the compressor. So you'll get as 536 Kelvin. So always note that T2 will be higher than T2S. So even in the diagram you can see T2S is lower temperature than the T2. So this is one way wherein you can check your answer. So T2 you should get more than T2S, but not much more. So it's small difference. Now immediately before going to the next step, you have to find out the work of compression, because here one problem is there, that is the pressure ratio between 3 to 4 and 5 to 6 is not known, because P1 is 1 bar, P2 is 6 bar, and he has not given that the two stages of expansion has equal pressure ratio. Suppose if it is given, then you can find out P3 by P4 is equal to P5 by P6 is equal to square root of P2 by P1, but that's not the case here. So you have to use some other method. So for that, first you have to find out the compressor work. So WC is equal to Cp into T2 minus T1. So substitute and simplify, you'll get the answer as 237 kilojoules per kg. Now it is given that WT1 is equal to WC is equal to 237. So what is WT1? So WT1 is nothing but first stage expansion, 3 to 4, you can see here, you see 3 to 4 in the diagram. So that is Cp into T3 minus T4. So and if you substitute, so your only unknown is T4, so there is 937 kilojoules per kg, 934 Kelvin you will get. So you will get it as 934 Kelvin. This is a temperature T4, okay, so it is in Kelvin. So here Cp value, once again you should take it as 1.005. So I am not shown any substitution, just simplification. The answer is 937 degree Kelvin. To find out T4s now, so you have to use the isentropic efficiency of the turbine formula, and you have to apply it for eta T1, that is first stage, because here T3 is known, T4 is known. So only unknown is T4s and all, but you are given the efficiency of the turbine. So usually what we do to find out T4, you will use the efficiency of the turbine formula. But here it's a reverse case. So you have to find out T4s using this efficiency formula. So after some substitution and simplification, you will get T4s as 895 Kelvin. Now coming to the process 3 to 4s, which is isentropic. So you can find out the pressure ratio P3 by P4 or P4 by P3, and also or the intermediate pressure P4 is equal to P5. So for that you have to use the 3 to 4s as isentropic as usual. You know that T4s by T3 is equal to P4 by P3 to the power gamma minus 1 by gamma. But I am writing in other way, that is P4 by P3 is equal to T4s by T3. Now the power, so it becomes reciprocal. So it becomes gamma by gamma minus 1. Actually this is the power of this P4 by P3 is equal to gamma minus 1 by gamma. But it is power coming to this side. So it becomes gamma by gamma minus 1. And after substitution and simplification, you get P4 as 2.328 bar. And this is also equal to P5, because 4 to 5 is the constant pressure heating. Now coming to the second stage, 5 to 6s is isentropic, that is in the second stage turbine. So as usual, T6s by T5 is equal to P6 by P5 to the power gamma minus 1 by gamma. So you can find out T6s, because T5 is given as 850 degrees Celsius or 1123 Kelvin. So you will get T6s as 882 Kelvin, right? Now use the second stage turbine efficiency formula, substitute and simplify, you will get one more unknown temperature, that is T6, the actual temperature at the turbine exit, that is second stage turbine exit. Okay, so this is how you have to proceed to find out all the temperatures at various points. Now once you find out the temperature at second stage also, then calculate the turbine work output of the second stage turbine WT2 as Cp into T5 minus T6, and you will get it as 206 kilojoules per kg, and the net work output as Wt minus Wc. So your Wt, since there are two stages of expansion, so it is Wt1 plus Wt2, so minus Wc, so you will get it as 206 kilojoules per kg. Net heat transfer or the heat supplied, so there are two heat addition process, one is 2 to 3, okay, other one is 4 to 5, okay. One is a direct heat addition, and one is a reheat, that's QH plus QR. So QH is nothing but Cp into T3 minus T2, and QR is nothing but Cp into T5 minus T4. So you'll get it as 640 plus 187, 827 kilojoules per kg, and the cycle efficiency, as all of you know, is W net by Q net is 206 by 827 is equal to 25%. Now let us solve this problem. In a simple gas turbine unit, the isentropic efficiency discharge temperature of the air flowing out of the compressor is 195 degrees Celsius, while the actual discharge temperature is 240 degrees Celsius. So it is simple gas turbine. That means one stage of compression and one stage of expansion. So the isentropic discharge temperature, that means at the end of the isentropic compression, the ideal compression, the temperature is 195 degrees Celsius, while the actual discharge temperature, actual compression, at the end of the actual compression, the temperature is 240. So in the normal convention, so this is T2s, whereas this is T2. The conditions of the air at the beginning of compression, that is P1 is 1 bar and T1 is 17 degrees Celsius. If the air fuel ratio is 75, so MA by MF is 75, net power output is 650 kilowatt. Compute the isentropic efficiency of the compressor and the turbine. So here you have to find out the isentropic efficiency of the compressor and the turbine. Overall efficiency, calorific value of the fuel used is given as 46,110 kilojoules per kg, and the unit consumes 312 kg per hour of fuel. So fuel consumption is given, the MF is given. Assume for gases Cp and gamma as 1.32, for air 1.005 and 1.4. So this is very interesting. The Cp value and gamma values are given different for the combustion products and the air. So for the compressor you have to use for air, that is 1.005 and gamma 1.4, whereas Cp is equal to 1.09 and gamma is equal to 1.32. You have to use it for the combustion products at the end of the heat addition process and the turbine expansion. So let us solve this problem now. So this is a TS diagram. So 1 to 2s is the ideal process, 1 to 2 is the actual compression process, 3 to 4s is the ideal expansion, 3 to 4 is the actual expansion, simple turbine. Okay, so one stage compression and one stage expansion. So temperature at the end of the isentropic compression is given 195, so it is 468 Kelvin. Actual temperature is 240, so it is 513 Kelvin. Inlet of the compressor is 290 Kelvin. P1 is 1 bar. Air fuel ratio is 75. Power output. You see, power output when it is given in kilowatt, so it is nothing but MA into W net. So MA is usually kg per second and W net is kilojoules per kg, so it becomes kilojoules per second, which is nothing but kilowatt. So that is why it is given in kilowatt here. So this MA into W net, you can write it as W dot net. So W dot net means it is work expressed in kilowatt. So it is rate of work. Okay, it is already multiplied by MA. So you can take it as W dot net. Okay, here, or W net dot you can take, which is nothing but WT minus WC expressed in kilowatt. You are supposed to find out the efficiency of the compressor and the turbine. Also the cycle efficiency. CV is given as 46,110. Cp gas, this is very interesting. So two values of Cp is given, so you can use suffix G for the gas, which is 1.09, and gamma suffix G for gas 1.30, Cp suffix A for air 1.005, gamma suffix A for air 1.4, and MF is given as 312 kg per hour. You can convert that into kg per second dividing by 3600. Now since T1, T2s, T2 all are given, so straight away you can find out the first answer, that is eta C, the compressor efficiency, as T2s minus T1 divided by T2 minus T1 is equal to 468 minus 290 divided by 513 minus 290 as 0.79 or 79%. So one answer is already available without any difficulty. Now let us find out the mass flow rate of air also, because MF is given as 0.0867 kg per second. Air fuel ratio, so MA by MF is nothing but air by fuel. So air by fuel is 75, mass of fuel is given, so mass of air is 6.503 kg per second. Now let us find the pressure ratio P2 by P1. So here you know T2s, T2 and T1. P1 is known, but pressure ratio P2 by P1 is not known. So P2 by P1 is nothing but T2s by T1 to the power gamma by gamma minus 1. So after substitution and simplification, you will get a pressure ratio as 5.34. Now let us go to the constant pressure heat addition process of 2 to 3. This is 2 to 3 constant pressure heat addition process. So here whatever the heat liberated by burning of the fuel is absorbed by the combustion products. Actually it is air, but fuel also gets mixed during combustion, so you can call it as combustion products. So MF into CV, this MF into CV is nothing but the heat liberated by the fuel, and MA dot plus MF dot into CPG into T3 minus T2. Okay, so here y Ma plus Mf. So this is nothing but the, you see, at 1 mass of air is enters some quantity Me, right? Ma dot you can take, and it undergoes compression during the process 1 to 2. So here the fuel enters Mf. So combustion takes place during the process 2 to 3, and at the end of the combustion process 2 to 3, that is at point 3, the total mass of the combustion products is nothing but Ma plus Mf. I think in one of the earlier problems I neglected Mf. In fact, that also can be done, but it is better always to consider this mass Mf also, though Ma is much more when compared to Mf. You can see the value here, 6.503, and this is 0.0867. So even if you neglect Mf, it doesn't make much difference, but is earlier one of the problems I didn't consider that. Now I am considering that. Okay, so you can consider it while solving. So this is the amount of heat liberated by the fuel, and this is the amount of heat absorbed by the combustion products. So mass of the combustion products is Ma plus Mf into Cpg into T3 minus T2. It's a very good problem, because to understand the reality. Okay, and after substitution of all given details, you can find out T3 as 1069.6 Kelvin. So this is one of the differences between this problem and the previous problems. So previous problems, most of the cases, so he has given the maximum temperature of the cycle, which is nothing but T3, or the highest point, the first entry of the turbine, because it depends on the two-stage compression or two-stage expansion, all those things. Okay, so you get the value of T3 here. Now 3 to 4s, you can see here, is isentropic process. So as usual, T4s by T3 is equal to P4 by P3 to the power gamma g minus 1 by gamma g. Look at here. You see here for the compressor I used gamma, okay, it is suffix A actually, gamma A both, because it is given 1.4 is used. Okay, make a note of this. But here you have to use a different gamma for the turbine. You see, compressor you have to use gamma for air, but turbine you have to use the gamma for combustion products, okay, or gas. So after substitution and simplification, you will get T4s as 712.6 Kelvin. And also we know that W dot net, which is given as 650, right, is equal to Wt minus Wc dot, again rate. So Wt, so that is 3 to 4. So here it is mCp delta T, because it is a rate of work done is given. So you can't just take a Cp delta T, because when W dot net is given, or W net dot is given, rate of in kilowatt is given, work is kilowatt is given, so you have find out in kilowatt the work output also, that is Ma plus Mf into Cpg into T3 minus T4. Otherwise what you would have done, only Cp into delta T, that is Cpg into T3 minus T4. Now you have to multiply by total mass. So total mass, as I told you earlier, at the entry of the turbine is nothing but mass of air plus mass of fuel, which is the total mass of the combustion products. And coming to the compressor, you look at here, M dot A, mass of air into Cp of air into T2 minus T1. Be careful, extremely you have to be careful while solving this problem. Okay, so here first term turbine Cpg you are using, but second term you are using Cpa for the compressor, and mass is also, it is for air, and temperature difference is T2 minus T1. So only unknown in this expression is T4, so you can find out T4 after making substitution and simplification. Okay. Now let us find out the answers, because we have found out all the temperatures at various points. So eta turbine, okay, turbine efficiency, isentropic efficiency of the turbine is nothing but T3 minus T4 divided by T3 minus T4s, which you will get it as 82.2%. And the cycle efficiency is nothing but W net by heat input. So heat input, either you can take Mf into Cv, which is also equal to Ma plus Mf into Cpg into T3 minus T2, because we have used that in the previously. So anything you can use. Either answers will be same. Okay, 0.163 and 0.163. Okay, so efficiency can be found out by two ways. Okay, so now this is the last lecture on module 2. So with this I conclude module 2. Thank you, one and all.